All right. Hello, hello, hello. This is video 778, and I'm not necessarily sure what to call it, but something I've noticed in my life, and I guess I have to preface this video. First of all, props to you. Sorry, bad humor. I cleaned up my room, and you can see the plane behind me in the trash can. That's the one I wrecked a couple weeks ago, and I went through today and salvaged all the parts. This is a brushless motor. This is a really nice motor, and whatnot. I didn't get as far as I was going to do. I was going to build, and just the day kind of got away from me. I had a really good afternoon with my daughter, so I'm not complaining. You know, there'll always be time. There'll always be time. But kind of wanted to make a video. I was, doing that afternoon Facebook thing where you kind of get yourself a cup of coffee and you're like, oh, what's going on in my friends' lives? And there's a post from someone on my feed, and after I read it, I wanted to unfriend them. And it's a phenomenon, which I guess means it's a reoccurring thing in my life lately, and it may just be par for the course with Facebook. And I had made mention, I think, a video or two ago about a friend of mine who posted on their Facebook page that periodically they kind of unfriend people, and it doesn't mean they don't like them. It's just they had too many friends and they needed to kind of simplify and parse down. And, that may be it, but I guess I kind of want to share my experience, and I have to preface this by saying that this is my YouTube channel. This is my YouTube channel. And I'm happy to share my experiences. This is very therapeutic for me. And I guess when I started it 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, I wanted to document the changes that happened to a person from before they transition, through the transition process, while they transition, and then after they transition, thinking foolish me that transition was just a little period of time, then it's over and you're done transitioning, which I don't believe in anymore. But I have to kind of preface it by saying that this channel is about me and my experiences and my feelings, and there's a lot of me here. I have to kind of preface this by saying it's about me. Okay, obviously I'm sharing it with you because you might have similar feelings, or you might in your own travels. I guess going back to what I said just a minute or two ago, the hope is that if you have a similar experience, you might say, hey, yeah, I'm not alone in that. Robin felt that way at one point. Maybe I'm not a fluke or whatnot. But so I have to preface that. By saying the concern is that someone might see this video and then say, I can't believe you said that about blah, 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 which you're welcome to say that. Or make the video about them, okay? And that's not what this channel is about. This is my channel. This is my reaction. This is my blah, 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 blah. And so, that said, if I haven't raised your curiosity enough already, by all means, if you feel differently, go start your own YouTube channel and whatnot, you know. So I have to kind of give this disclosure, legal disclosure, whatnot. The views and whatever expressed on this channel are solely my own and not necessarily blah, blah, blah. Okay, so big startup here, big lead into. Okay. And I you know, that said, and why I have to give a little more preface to that. Not that long ago, within a year or two ago, my child had expressed that that they might be LGBTQ plus I. Not going to tell you which one of those they were. Thought they were, but they thought they were. And a fear / concern of mine that was used against me before I was divorced and able to transition was that somehow I would influence my child. You know, they would become gay, let's say, because I was gay. You know, that was kind of the fear, you know, that I had. You know, it's just not true. You know, people are people, and you know, you don't become gay from reading a book or drinking a fluid. You know, you are what you are from the day you were born. You know. But as part of that process and doing due diligence, I spoke with my therapist. I spoke with my daughter's therapist. And I joined a support group for LGBTQ parents. Okay. All as kind of preparation and leading up to, you know, I wanted to provide as much support as I could for my child. Counseling, therapy, you name it. And in this group of parents, you know, obviously a cross section of children and parents, you know, LGBTQI. You know, I was there as a parent. I wasn't there as a trans woman who had a child, blah, 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 blah. I was a parent, you know, I was a mom. And I had an opportunity to meet another parent. And we kind of hit it off just as parent to parent, counseled each other. Hey, what do you think about this? Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say anything because it would be a violation of the support group. Blah, blah, blah. But, you know, they got talking to me about trans support groups and trans women specifically. And they kind of said to me, you know, are you still going to the support group? And I said, no. I said, I just kind of felt the need to leave. And they said, yeah, I felt the same. I felt the same. And I was like, oh. And they said something to me about, they said that it was their opinion that usually trans women who stay in a support group for an extended period of time, that they're narcissistic and vain. And I was kind of like, well, you know, aren't all people vain? You know, aren't, you know, that's a very focused, narrow scope. You know, there are people men, women, cis, non-cis, you know, vain across the board, you know. And, you know, I have noticed within myself that, and this is where, again, I have to talk about me, okay? Not because I'm egotistical, but this is my channel. This is my, I have to share with you my feeling here, okay? But there's just something about a vain person that just turns me off, you know? Doesn't have to be trans person, anybody, you know? I'm just not, it's just not my thing, you know? And I can remember growing up and, you know, models at the time. I guess Ellie McPherson was a big model. Kathy Ireland. I loved Kathy Ireland. Not for her body, but for her voice. Kathy Ireland's voice is so innocently wonderful. And she actually took voice lessons to train her voice because she didn't like it, you know. But her natural voice, the way she sounded before her voice lessons, you'd have to watch the movie Alien from LA to really, when she was younger, to hear it. It's a very innocent, mousy little, nasal little voice that probably a lot of people found annoying. And they just saw a picture of her, and her voice didn't line up with that image of her. And so she felt pressured to change it. And she actually ended up doing a lot of voice work in animation and other things because she wanted to practice. I mean, she actively wanted to change her voice, which I respect, you know, respect that. But I love her natural voice. To me, it's just adorable. I love it. Okay. If I could do her voice, I would do it for you, but I can't. But anyway, where are we? Oh, but you know, growing up, I didn't collect pictures of good-looking women. You know, beautiful women. The friends that I had in college who did the glamour shots. To me, I was just abhorred by it. It was gross. I didn't like it, you know. And you know, it just turned me off. It was so fake. And I was happy for them and congratulated them. And you know, they were excited. Look at my picture. And I'd be like, oh, great. I'm so happy you got to do what you wanted to do. You know, but, you know, it's not my thing. It's not my thing. And so, you know, I don't have pictures, you know. I'm not drawn to that. I'm repelled by it, if anything. And so, you know, if the character of Gaston from Beauty and the Beast is lovable and that he's so vain that you hate him, you know. And as far as, you know, when I was a lad, I ate 4 dozen eggs to help. You know, you get into his, you know, you get to experience me, you know, not drawn to that. And in the same way that women, I'm not drawn to that either. And so I guess, you know, my repulsion, for lack of a better word, when I began to have friends who kind of became somewhat obsessed with that. it was not something I really wanted to see. And can I say that without making a criticism of someone else? That's not my intent. Okay, I'm just saying, out of a group of 20 people, someone who displays traits that I don't like, I'm not going to want to be around them. Vanity is one of them. Being ostentatious is another. Someone who says, who's constantly trying to one-up you and talk about their wealth or their job, or, it's a guy, his big penis. I don't know. It's just not something I am drawn to. And so, today, was like the third time that person that I was at one point pretty good friends with, they did this Facebook photobomb, for lack of a better word, like 20 pictures of themselves. And it just was like, it was abhorrent to me. And, I felt the need to split ways. Okay. And I guess my question here, or the way that I'm feeling, is, what is it about me? Okay, because this is my channel. What sort of shortcoming do I have that I am repulsed by this to such a degree that I want to unfriend this person? Okay, what is my problem? Okay. The simple answer is, it's just not my thing. It's not what I'm interested in, If you have a friend, a person I hate to say friend, a person an acquaintance, and they love snakes and you don't, and they love putting pictures of boa constrictors and rattlesnakes and pythons on their Facebook page all the time, you might unfriend them because you don't like snakes. But I really question, what is it about me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? And, I've always hated mirrors. Is it jealousy? Am I jealous that someone else is so into their looks? I'm happy that they're happy, but I am repulsed. Am I repulsed by, and I hate to say, my own unattractiveness, my own ugliness? And that's a bad word. I'm not going to get in trouble. Just an example. Okay. Am I making up some kind of, is this an ego defense? Save Robin, shields up, all power to the forward shields. I don't know. I don't know. I've never, and I do this at work. I go to the bathroom at work and I do my business and I go to wash my hands. I don't look up because I don't want to see my face in the mirror. I've always had that aversion to mirrors and my own reflection, looking at myself now in the camera. So is there a problem with me? That's my thing that I'm questioning. I'm questioning. And I can't, I don't have an answer for it. I guess I got a mull over it. But again, You know, is it that? Uh, you know, is it, and I understand. I think to explore it a little bit more in the trans world, definitely, I can understand a person who is exploring themselves, and for the first time in their life, they like the way they look, and they want to share it with you. I mean, that's wonderful. You know what I mean? Like, awesome. Congratulations. You know, but there's a point, like I said, where it begins to grate on me, and then I begin to evaluate, is this someone I really want to be around, and are we really doing anything? And unfortunately, the last 4 or 5 folks that I've had this feeling about, we've not had anything in common other than we were trans women. We were trans women at one point in our lives. Other than that camaraderie and community, that diminished over time, and I don't know what to say, but I'm feeling it, and not on this front, and maybe, uh, you know, maybe I'm constipated and I'm about to have a huge blowout. It's not just the vanity. There's another underlying thing, and it's somewhat to deal with politics. And it's not limited to trans women, okay? So if you think it's you and you're a trans woman, it's not you. But some of the folks that I have made acquaintances through friend of a friend of a friend, and we had some common interests at some point. Lately the posts about political posts are kind of starting to grate on my nerves. You know, I see, and again, this is my problem. I'm the problem. I want more out of a Facebook friendship than, someone who's just throws the latest anti-Trump thing on my feed, or, the latest, they're, well, this is really going to offend some people. There are people in this world that are content creators, and there are people in this world that are mirrors. And, I guess I'm about to unfriend a bunch of mirrors because, people that all they do is just shoot shit back at you all day long. And you're like, I saw this meme 3 days ago, but, I'm sure that makes me out to be egotistical, and I don't mean to be, but, maybe I'm growing, and maybe I feel the need to move to another, I don't want to say another stage, but another chapter in my book, the book of my life. Maybe I'm ready to move on to the next chapter, and I'm surprised at myself, but to be honest, I'm tired of hearing about Transgender Day of Remembrance and this, so and so is the 51st trans woman to die. I guess I'm just tired of the whole trans community, which sounds terrible, right? It's the thing that kept you under its wing. It's what gave you the wind beneath your wings, the power, the connection, the whatever. I'm just ready to move on. you know? And not because I don't like these folks or people. It's just I'm tired of it. It doesn't serve any purpose in my life, you know? And maybe that's something we're learning about Facebook, you know? It's it's an echo chamber, you know? It's a group of people and they just shout the same old shit into this crack. And it just bounces off the walls. It doesn't get anywhere, you know? I mean, maybe I am a stick in the mud, but to sit there and talk about, you know, fuck Trump and fuck this and non-binary and, you know, it just bounces off. It doesn't get out of that. And I definitely see the need to express oneself and to vent yourself and to say, hey, world, I want to tell you my experience. I mean, look at this channel. But I guess I'm just tired of it, you know. Maybe I want more and, you know, I want more happiness in my feed. It doesn't mean I want to stick my head in the sand, but just tired of it. Just tired of it, you know. And I see some of my parents in me now, which is kind of sad. My both my parents are in their 70s, and you know, they just want the world the way that it was. And you know, just they worked all their life, they retired, and they want to be left alone, you know, to live their life the best they can do. And unfortunately, they're stuck in their ways, and, you know, maybe I'm stuck in my ways. I don't know. But I guess I want more out of my life than just the same old. Yeah, it's like a washing machine, you know, or a dryer, you know. It's like hearing a towel in a dryer. Boom, 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 boom. It's the same old shit over and over and over again, you know. And so on that notion of the repetition of the same old, you know, to see someone post pictures of themselves over, over, over. I'm not interested. You know? And it's time to move on. You know, time to move on. And but like I said, I when I said what is my problem, I'm owning my problem. You know, am I stick in the mud? Am I jealous? Is it an ego defense? You know, that's something I'm gonna pick apart probably over the next week, because it was a strong reaction. It was a strong, not the first time, not the first person. Just it's like a switch, and you put up with it, put up with it, put up with it, and then you just reach a breaking point. And you know what I did tonight, which you know, I think is a good thing to do, is to snooze. You know, I snooze the person for 30 days, and we'll see how it goes. And you know, if after 30 days it's the same old shit, then yeah, I'm gonna unfriend them. You know, and it is kind of sad. You know, it's sad. It's the end of a friendship, somewhat. But you know, at the same time, we don't do anything. You know, not going to get a Christmas card. Not going to give a Christmas card. You know, it's like people that you're not really a part of their life. They're not really a part of your life. And time to move on. Time to move on. You know, I didn't just want to do it, and I felt the need to talk about it because, again, it's my emotion, my confusion, my frustration at myself, because I'm like, are you a judgmental bitch? In this case, no, I don't think I am. I think I've just realized this person and I don't have anything in common anymore. And we're definitely going in two different directions. And, it's time to, like I said, it's like that towel in the, boom, 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 boom. To a degree, they're stagnant. And I guess maybe I'm stagnant and I want more out of my life. So, anyway, food for thought. Food for thought. Like I said, I don't know if it's I gotta think about this a little more. But I guess I wanted to share it, and because it is my life, and this is one trans at middle age. This is my experience, and like I said, I hope you can look at this in the context in which I'm presenting it. It's my emotions, my feelings. I'm talking totally about me. I'm not talking about someone else, but I have to mention them to a certain degree. And I hope it makes sense. I hope it makes sense.